Welcome to Colorful Journeys of Success. Listen to and watch our fascinating guests as they share colorful stories of success and how they help inspire. Now, here's Claire, the color wheeling lady and our host.
Welcome to Colorful Journey of Success. My name is Claire Mullen. I'm your host and producer. So I wanted to have a combination. This is a great combination of our guests about the mind and the body. And we have a physical therapist, and we also have a yoga and a specialist with them. I'm going to call you mind specialist. Okay, and it's my pleasure to welcome Sachin. Thank you so much for coming. And John, thank you so much for coming. Well, let's start with the mind. You were talking about meditation and the mind control, so the floor is all yours.
So normally, we always kind of notice that moment we close our eyes, it fills our head with bunch of thoughts and it's kind of whirling. And then we want to find the peace, and then you notice that nobody sells peace. It's right here, and you have to be with it automatically. And then many a times when we want to repel the thoughts, you notice that only one thought remains with you, is not to think anything. And then how to get rid of that thought. So that's what we call it transcendence in the process, is where you just being yourself in the process, take little time off, at least twice a day. And then as you see, as many people, as many shirts, so the same way there are so many variety of methods and combinations which are available. So mainly because of my background and how I grew up, I prefer to choose something which is not only time tested, but it's also scientifically validated, and it has a reproducible effect. That means you practice, he practice, and I practice, we have the same outcome. So the technique what we commonly use is called as transcendental meditation. And it's kind of developed by and kind of presented in America by Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. And I was blessed to be his disciple since I was very young. So I started meditating when I was 5-year-old. Until I went to med school, I really realized that how important part of our life meditation is. And then more you start thinking, you realize that meditation is not only for your personal upliftment, it also helps the society. So there is a kind of movement, we call it Global Peace Initiative, where the meditation is actually used for global coherence and then to reduce conflict and increase invincibility.
Geez, I think I could listen to you for about 10 hours. This is such an important piece. It's amazing, absolutely amazing. And so thank you for coming, and I want to introduce also John. You have this wonderful little toy, so you look like a physical therapist.
That I am.
Oh,
very,
how about
very
that?
Observative of you.
Well, okay, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, and how do you respond to what Sachin just shared?
Yeah, so I am a physical therapist. I have my doctorate in physical therapy from USC. After that, I moved up here and opened my own private practice for physical therapy. And at the facility, we recently expanded and grew, where we added Dr. Sachin here, who is leading our yoga and meditation practice. And what we're trying to do is to incorporate not only the physical body in improving anyone that may be having any orthopedic issues. As you said, I brought my good friend here, Mr. Spine, and luckily we're all doing better than Mr. Spine here, who's missing all kinds of parts.
His name, Mr. Spine?
Of course, Mr. Spine. Do you need to meet Mr. Spine here? Okay, you can say no hands to shake, unfortunately.
I don't see any meat, though. No.
No meat on Mr. Spine, exactly.
Sorry about that.
So what we're trying to do with the physical therapy is really to improve any orthopedic issues. The reason I brought the spine today is it's one of my specialties and one I see often. We are here in the Silicon Valley, where we have a lot of people that work on computers for a lot of hours, and we have a lot of experts working with computers and technology. But some of our technologies put us at greater risk for injury. When we're sitting at a computer in this rounded position here, puts a lot of stress on our low back and our shoulders. And as a physical therapist, I'm working on improving anything that's causing anyone pain and getting them back to whether it's working for longer or doing any other sporting or recreational activities they want to do. In combination of that, Dr. Sachin, and he'll explain even better than I can, we're trying to improve the mind and the body connection with both of these traits. Because, like I said, we're all using our technology quite a bit nowadays. And not only does it provide or increase risk of orthopedic issues, but it can also lead to problems with capturing inner peace and really being able to sit quietly and not be as distracted. And like Dr. Sachin said, you cannot, buy what's inside here. You can't go to a store or see anything, even online or on TV, that's going to go ahead and fix that. It does require a lot of work and a lot of practice. And hopefully, with our physical therapy practice, we can help improve the body. And then with our yoga and meditation practice, we can help improve the mind as well.
Excellent. My goodness. A word keeps popping in my mind, and I don't know whether it fits either any of this, but metaphysical is, where does that come from, or does it touch upon what our discussion today?
It's kind of, means though metaphysical word can have different connotations for different people. We can use metaphysical more as kind of a term, it's more like closer to mindfulness. That means you're just aware of who you are. And then you are also aware of your purpose in life. So this body is given to us as a gift.
Yes,
and then
I
we live in
believe
this
that.
body. So we should be able to take care of this body in a good way. And then there is a saying in yoga which says anything which is overused, anything which is never used, or anything which is used in wrong manner ends up in disaster. So no matter it's your body, your car, your house, or your mind. And then more you kind of become friendly with your own self, you notice that something changes. And then yoga, though it seems like more like the mind-body practice, it also has physiological effect. That means it changes, we call it neuromuscular integration. It starts kind of creating a coherence between mind and body. And mind likes repetition. So if you look at my palm, so if you look at this curve versus when you look at this, which one you like?
The second one.
Second one. So anything which you repeat over and over into a predictable format has a perfect relaxation impact on who we are. And that's what we really use it as, where we use tense and relax, where you kind of use breath as a connection. And then that's what makes it separate. So now in physical therapy or any exercise format, how it differs from mind-body practice is really in exercise, you're walking on the treadmill and you're watching a TV show or news. You can catch up when you do that. When you are actually in yoga, even if you sit, you're completely cognizant of who you are. You have connection with every single inch of your body. You're perfectly aware of your mind and body. You're completely in control of your breath. And that channels the whole process of mind. And then there are a lot of other metaphysical things, as I said, the chakras and those type of things. So now with more and more science which actually shows you how the mind-body works. So this area, the prefrontal cortex, it's kind of your CEO of your brain. So it governs everything.
You mentioned the cortex. Is
That's
that
the frontal
the term
area.
you used?
Yeah. And then now when we actually do the imaging and scans, you can actually see that in meditation, that area is most active. And then not only it's active, but then eventually if you look at the EEG findings, you notice that each part of the brain starts talking to each other. So that is where the coherence comes. And then not only that remains with you, it actually helps other people in the environment. So there are a lot of research now which actually shows that the peace comes. So if there are 10 people in the environment, they can radiate the same amount of peace to a lot of other people. So it's kind of an art and then science at the same time.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about how gifted we are, and I mean, like you said, that we're given these wonderful gifts of our mind and our body and this world. And I write about color, and that's where Colorful Journey of Success came from. And it's just so exciting when I have people on the show that are so inspiring. The two of you are really inspiring for me. So I'm very thankful that you're here.
Well, we're glad to be here and hope that we can provide not only help for you, but hopefully people watching at home, just because we know there are a lot of people that do have, whether it's orthopedic issues, general aches and pains, or having issues with that mind-body connection. Right. And we just want to let people know that this is very common. A lot of people have these things, but there are a lot of tools out there based off of what we read in the science and stuff that we apply every day in our practice to help people out, whether it's something small or something a lot bigger.
So what are the 5 things or 6 things that tips? Give us tips.
Gotcha. So some of the tips I would say if you're looking to prevent orthopedic issues are to try to prevent being in one position for too long. That could be standing, sitting, lying down. We want to be able to move around, so try not to be in one position for longer than maybe 20 to 30 minutes. So that's typically going to be the hardest in sitting. Yes. So if you're on your computer, hosting a talk show, things like that, it's important to get up and just try to break the cycle, because any overuse or doing any activity over time can prevent or cause some sort of orthopedic compensations and issues. Something else that can be done is to try to do activities that are very varietal. So what I usually mean by that is whenever we're exercising, we usually do the same motions or the same things over and over. Usually it's because what we're usually good at or comfortable with, but it's likely we keep doing the same things over and over, whether it's on that treadmill, watching TV, or even doing a yoga practice. All these things can be a little redundant sometimes if you do it for over and over. So
I think that's a very, very important, those are excellent tips. Yeah. And we have 2 minutes left, so how about giving us maybe 2 or 3 really important tips and then a word of wisdom.
Okay, so usually because we are in Silicon Valley, just last week we kind of collected some interesting result that we asked some people randomly what they ate for breakfast, and answer was something. So that shows how much dissociation comes. So remembering and remaining in the moment, that's really the most important message. Second thing is really having some routines are equally important. So going to bed at certain time, waking up at certain time, and then also kind of learning the right tools and techniques also makes the difference. So how I prefer it, rather than practicing 15 things which are not complete.
Okay, so give us a word of wisdom. We're kind of wrapping this up here. Right. Give us a word of wisdom from you, from the mind body.
So I will say, rather than learning and practicing 100 things and not doing it in perfection, learn one principle and then practice in perfection.
Very good. I love it. How about a word of wisdom from you?
My word of wisdom is to make sure you get up and move. Whether it's something simple like walking or doing an activity with your children, just get up, move around, and break the habits of sitting for too long or any activity.
I love that. You know, I came up with a term the other day, people that are always on their cell phone. I call them they're playing poker. Okay, so thank you very much for joining Colorful Journey of Success. Profound, absolutely profound. Excellent information. So I'm just thrilled. So, and it was John Mullen and Dr. Session. So, now, if you'd like to join Colorful Journey of Success and be interviewed, I would love to meet you. My name is Claire Mullen, producer and host of this show. Wonderful. So I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. And like you said, keep moving. And keep the mind moving. Okay, so thank you for coming and joining Colorful Journey of Success. Bye for now.